All right, well, good morning, Rotary District 7770. Welcome to Conversations with Rotary Action People and your all-club call for Wednesday, August 19th. My name is Donald Hovis from the Chicora Rotary Club in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And today we are pleased to be joined by a district governor from up in the North Carolina mountains, a beautiful area I love to visit every fall. How about give a warm welcome to DG David Waechter. Good morning, sir. Happy to be with you today and have you with us. We will get to you in just a few minutes. But to do the prayer and pledge for today's meeting, our district governor, Pauline Levesque.
All right, please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we are thankful for this opportunity to meet as the family of Rotary. I'm grateful for the friends I've made and within our clubs, within our district, and around the world. We thank you for the many blessings that you give us to do the good work that is needed in our communities. We ask you continue to bless everyone during this time, and we call on you, Lord, to walk with us as we serve your people. Amen. Let's stand for the pledge. Hold on. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Amen. Yeah, combo. There we go.
Thank you, Pauline, for the double amen today. We are off to a good start here. I do appreciate you, and thank you for being with us. Those of you on the call, thank you for being here. We want you to use the chat box to introduce yourself today. So how about put your name and your Rotary Club? And if you have any questions for our guest speaker, we want you to please put those in the chat box as well. And how about if you have a Rotary-themed baseball jersey or a Rotary-themed mask or a Rotary-themed hat, we want you to put that in the chat box as well, and we'll talk we'll talk about that at the end. So if you have a Rotary baseball jersey, a Rotary mask, or a Rotary baseball hat, we want you to put that in the chat box. All right, so David, thank you again for being with us, taking time to come down here to South Carolina virtually. How about take a few minutes and introduce yourself. Tell us how long you've been in Rotary, what's your home club, how you became district governor. Kind of give us your Rotary story real quick.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Fletcher, North Carolina. It's a small town, used to be a small town. Now it's a big bedroom community of Asheville. Used to be right between Asheville and Hendersonville. Many of you folks from the low country, I know y'all like to come up to our mountains in the summer and enjoy the cool, dry air. And we like to go down to your area and enjoy the moist, beautiful beaches. And but I was born and raised in Fletcher. Grew up all in the mountains and enjoying nature, enjoying hunting and fishing, and went to school at West Henderson High School. Then I went to Appalachian State University, got a degree in biology and anthropology. I met my wife there. Been married to my wife since 1999, and Deborah, and she's a family physician. I'm a general contractor here, and we live in Lenoir, North Carolina, which is between Hickory and Boone. So we're about an hour north of Charlotte. And yeah, how did I become the governor? I don't remember. It just happened in the dark of night, just like all the other governors. My Rotary career began actually in 1991. I was a RILA participant, so I'm a Rotary alumni. Participated in RILA when I finished high school. Didn't really participate in Rotary for a long time. I did Kiwanis. I did Optimist. I've done a lot of different nonprofit stuff, and then I one day I was invited to Rotary. I jumped at the chance, knew what it meant, and I've never stopped with it. I was 2009, served my club as a president in other capacities, and moved up the chain in district leadership, and here I am. I am a fairly young governor, as governors go, and I've got a family with 3 children. My oldest daughter just started college, and running my business and running this district of Rotary. So it's a busy thing for me. It's very busy, but I like it. I'm enjoying it very much.
So I have a saying for people that I know or meet that go to App State is, there's, that's God's country up there, There's a lot of good people that come out of App State. My stepmom went there, and my parents are season ticket football season ticket holders. So I know
Go Mountaineers.
That's right. So my family bleeds black and gold. Not me, but my family does.
It's a good family.
So you're going to talk to us today about repairing old wheelchairs, if I'm not correct.
That's right. I should start maybe in the beginnings of this project. So this project began several years ago. Past District Governor Bill Biddle, I was an assistant governor for him, and I watched him closely as he went through his governor year, and I really admired Bill. He had developed a long-standing relationship with the folks in District 3810, which is Manila, Philippines, and he had done a number of wheelchair distributions there. Those people were so humble and kind and loving, and just such wonderful people of District 3810 that there was a whole contingency of them that came to see Bill installed as governor. And that's very moving. And I wondered what kind of person could inspire people to fly 24 hours halfway across the globe to come and watch them be installed as governor. And so I was very inspired by Bill's leadership. And I asked him, I said, Bill, I want to be a servant leader like you. I want you to show me how to do that. I want you to mentor me. And so he agreed to do that. He actually told me that, well, David, the first thing we need to do is we need to put together a wheelchair project. We need to go and do a wheelchair distribution. It'll change your life. Well, part of that project was that since the Rotary International Foundation does not support wheelchair projects they don't recognize it as a sustainable project, and they have their reasons. But we were not dismayed. We decided to do fundraising internally, and so we went around club to club, and we developed a presentation to raise money. Part of that was to have not just a global or an international side of the project, but to have a local side. And I told Bill, I said, we have all these wheelchairs that are discarded, and there must be something we can do with them. And he said, well, it's not economically feasible for us to take them abroad. And he's right. But we could find a way to utilize them locally. And it really made a lot of sense. And the reason I told you this long story is because in order to do the fundraising for the international project, we really needed to show that we were also addressing a local community problem. And so it became more than just a single path to do the fundraising. And so we started to put together the idea of repairing and enhancing lightly used wheelchairs in our local community. And so, shall I keep going?
Yeah, and you sent some questions over for me to ask you, and so if you wish, maybe I'll just ask you those, and it'll help you continue to talk. So tell us some of your partner organizations.
Well, you know what, I should tell you, Donald, part of the training of a district governor is to learn to talk ad nauseum. So I can talk with or without questions, but I just try to let you interject anytime you feel like you'd like.
Sure.
So to developing the partnerships and stuff, what we did was we found a local community workshop, and these workshops exist all over the United States. A lot of times you'll find where people who are not really unemployable, but they have difficulty getting jobs on a regular basis. There are these little community workshops that serve this population and provide them meaningful employment and meaningful tasks to do for some wage. And they get creative. They find all kinds of different ways to employ these folks. So we went and visited the local community workshop, and we said, would you be interested in helping us repair and refurbish these chairs? And they said, we would be interested, but we can't store them. And we can't store the parts. And I said, well, that's okay. We just need some people that we can get, bring a few chairs at a time and get them repaired and cleaned up and that sort of thing. And so they agreed to do that part. And so I found I had some excess warehouse space at my shop, and we started collecting chairs. At first I thought it would be difficult to get chairs, but that's not the difficult part. I'll tell you more about that later. The easy part is getting chairs. And there are a lot of people, who age and use chairs, and they don't use them too much. Actually, they use them quite lightly, and then they pass away, and then their families are curious. They want to put this chair to use. They see that it has life in it, and they feel guilty or bad about throwing it away, and so but they don't know where to take it. And so a lot of times they'll take it to places like Habitat Restore or a Goodwill or something like that. And those places typically refuse chairs. And so they will, what happens is people wind up just tossing them in a metal bin. So what we did is we went out and we talked to these agencies like Goodwill and Habitat. And we said, look, when people come and they say they want to give you a chair, don't refuse it. Refer them to us. And so they do. And people will occasionally, and it's not all the time, it's not every day, but from time to time, people will contact me and they say, I have a chair for you. And I say, that's fine. Just leave it down there at the shop and I'll put it inside the warehouse. And so we store it there until it's needed. Or if it's in great shape, we don't have to do any refurbishing. But sometimes we have to get it clean. And so we take it over to the community workshop. They'll clean it up. And the sweet people that work there will, they might have to replace a bearing or replace a seat or something simple. And then the hard part, which I promised to tell you about, was finding recipients. Because in the United States, there are, I would say that we're a little bit spoiled at times. So we have a lot of excess capacity. And so you find out that people can get wheelchairs, but sometimes there are these gaps. There are people that can get them through their insurance. There are people that can get them through Medicaid, and they can acquire the wheelchairs. But there are these little gaps where they make too much money to be on Medicaid, but they make too little money to afford insurance. So there's a little gap in there. And so those people are the ones we have to find. And so we rely on referrals for that as well. And so I reach back out to the clubs and I ask them, if you know someone that is in need of mobility and cannot otherwise attain it, please let me know and I will give them a chair. And so we give them a chair, and we like to take their picture if they don't mind, and then post that out. And it's a simple little way of serving, but it's very rewarding, and it can be a little frustrating at times when I have a bunch of wheelchairs stored and I'm tripping over them and stuff. But you know, it's nice to find that recipient once in a while that really, really needed it.
So what would you say is your biggest success and challenge?
I think the biggest success is getting the partnerships, you know, having the finding a way that people can get the chairs to us and getting the word out about the chairs, having a destination for them. You know, I hate to see those things wind up in the dump. It's there are people that really need them. The biggest frustration is, and honestly, is finding the recipients. I struggle with that, and it's part of it is that it's labor intensive to find them, and I know they're out there, but it's just sort of a lost or a group of people that exist in sort of a void, I guess, in a sort of a place in society where they don't get a lot of attention, and and another thing about being in the United States, it's a little bit different than other countries, is we have a fierce independent streak. And so people will often find ways to cope. They'll find these coping mechanisms that serve them just fine, but they're maybe a little proud to ask for help sometimes. So that's a little frustrating because there's no shame in getting assistance, and certainly no shame in getting mobility.
So tell us a little bit about the future of the program.
So, I'm really glad. I'm very thankful that Governor Pauline invited me to come and talk to you all about this, because any chance that I can get to raise awareness about it and get the word out is very beneficial. And that's the future, is getting the word out. Right now I'm moving through this governor year, and it's quite demanding. But when I get on the other side of July 1, I'll be turning my sights to really enhancing this program, and there are a lot of places where I can polish and streamline my logistics, and I really want to focus in on doing a better job locating my recipients, because I didn't think that would be the bottleneck, but that's been the bottleneck, and so I think that'll be the future.
David, did you check any with like hospitals or doctors' offices that work with disabled to see if you could be the contact that they would call if somebody needed a wheelchair? Going to those places where they would recommend. Thank you, Shirley.
I thought, well, I haven't exhausted that. I won't say that I have exhausted that opportunity. But we have asked, we've talked to some doctors' offices about it and told them that they're available. Typically, when they go to a doctor, they're already prepared to pay for a copay, and so they have insurance, and they'll get a new chair. They'll just go get a brand new one, and it's quite expensive actually for a new chair, and not for them. I mean, the insurance will pay for it, but. That's a little bit of a frustration. We have these, these are good chairs. There's nothing wrong with them. They're perfectly good shape. Now, what we have had some success with is we have a local clinic here that's, it's called Helping Hands. And this Helping Hands is it is a low cost clinic. And it serves the population I was talking about, the people who make a little too much for Medicaid, but not enough to afford insurance. And it serves that population. And so they have been a pretty good referral source for us because we line up.
I've been working on a project that a cultural arts center that would include people of differing abilities. And I would like to talk to you a little bit more about that, because we might be able to work some way where I can be a conduit to get those people to you.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. Yes.
So somewhere,
please let me know.
I don't know how I would give you my information, but just
through Pauline, probably.
Through Pauline. Thank you, Pauline. Also, just one last thing. before I worked with Rotary, and they were doing wheelchairs as well, giving them out. And I suggested, I thought it would be really nice. I still haven't given up on the idea. I thought it'd be really nice on the hub of the wheel. Our Rotary symbol is a rotary, right? And I thought it'd be really neat to make a hubcap on the center of the wheel with the Rotary logo, and especially for you where you're doing this as a giveaway. I think that would be so beautiful to advertise service above self, and they're a walking advertisement. But Sandy's saying no. Is that against the law?
That is against the logo law. You can put the logo on any document, but you can't use it to decorate anything, if you will. It makes sense, but yeah, you can't make a hubcap, a rotary wheel hubcap.
Shirley, you can go to the brand center and it'll tell you the do's and don'ts of using the Rotary logo,
Okay.
and they're pretty specific.
Can you just put the name, compliments of the Rotary, something like that on it without the logo?
If you use,
You could put the name and the logo on the seat, on the back, but you just can't make it the hubcap.
right, and once you decide how you want to do it, if you'll send it to Ken, he's kind of like the logo guru for the public image committee,
Which
and
one?
let him approve it. To Ken Gass.
Ken Gass. Is Ken on here?
No, he's not on here.
Could
You
someone
know,
send me his
that's it.
information?
I will
That's
send
an
you.
interesting point you bring up, Shirley.
Yes.
When I was in Manila, Philippines, and we were giving out chairs, I saw chairs there that had, well, we put, provided by District 7670, and the logo, or we had it on the back of the chair. But I saw chairs there from the Church of Latter-day Saints. I saw chairs from other, charitable organizations, and it's interesting that to see that other people had been there. And it just, one of the things that moved me in distributing chairs was that you are not just providing mobility to that one person, you're freeing up about 7 people in their life,
Oh, yeah.
having to carry them around and serve them. And it enables, it has an economic power to it as well. It enables them to free them up from work.
Well, I was thinking too, you don't want to get bogged down with, okay, now you have to have, excuse me, the back of the chair or whatever, somehow incorporate the whatever it is you want to say, Rotary, whatever. But we've been putting stickers with the outline of Rotary on it, not the logo, but we have the stickers, and we explain the program for the little libraries program that we do. And when we have speakers, we put the sticker inside a book, and we give it the name of the speaker to a school so they can see it's from Rotary. So maybe if you had a sticker made that you could put on that wouldn't come off, not a trashy thing. You might put it on the back, because then they wouldn't be leaning on it all the time.
Right.
I think some way to show that Rotary's out there doing and helping.
Absolutely.
Try it now.
Let me jump in here, guys. For the respect of everyone on the call, only come off of mute if you're asked to come off of mute. Please only come off mute if you're asked to come off mute. The chat box is where you can submit information, questions for the audience. Please, out of respect for everyone, please use the chat box. Thank you. Sorry about that, David.
No, no worries.
And I now have some questions from the audience that I'll ask you. So wouldn't social services be able to find people for you in need?
Yeah, that's a good one. Maybe. Yeah, maybe so. I have a connection at social services here in Caldwell County. That would be an area I could probably grow, reaching out to social services in various counties. They certainly serve a population that they would have knowledge of a need probably. That would be that's a good recommendation.
Here is a comment followed up by a question. In 2006, we worked with my old club in Shanghai, China, with the Rotary Foundation, the Wheelchair Foundation, and the RC in Bullergam in California to distribute wheelchairs in China. That was a big experience, and we raised over $20,000 plus matching at that time to do so. I agreed to see the kids and seniors that could not get around otherwise. And then that same person that posted that comment followed it up and have you reached out to any club in China yet?
No, I haven't done any work in China, but anywhere you go, you're going to find these needs. These the folks that you serve in terms of mobility. These are people that are living a very meager lifestyle and really have true need. I have a photo. I give a presentation sometimes of, it's part of my district governor presentation for the visionary year, that I call it the visionary year. And I actually have a picture of my Rotary moment where I was in Manila, and I saw this gentleman sitting off to the side, and he was so humble and so quiet, and he just really kept to himself. But I was drawn to him. I just felt something in my heart. I don't know where it came from, but I felt something. And so I noticed him. And then I wasn't even sure if he was a recipient, because it's the way the distributions go and everything. And then I saw people helping him get into a chair that we had brought and assembled for him. And then I felt compelled to walk over and touch hands, shake his hand and congratulate him on his newfound mobility. And as soon as we touched hands, he started crying. And I thought, oh, Lord, I've hurt this gentleman. I feel terrible. I thought maybe I squeezed his hand too hard or something. I didn't know what I'd done. I felt, or maybe I'd insulted him. And so I leaned over and I said to him quietly, I said, did I hurt you? And he said, no, you make me happy. And I started crying on this poor guy's shirt. And we had a moment. We got ourselves together. I took our picture. It's a picture I treasure. I'll never forget that moment. But what it taught me was that on my plane ride home, I sort of decompressed and I thought about this. I thought when I was going there, and China would be the same. We distribute chairs in South America. Anywhere you go, you're going to have these kinds of moments. And I encourage you to do it. But on the way back, I realized that I thought I was taking a gift to these people. I thought I was the one giving them something. But on that plane ride home, I realized that my heart was completely overflowing with love. And that was the magic of Rotary right there. It was life-changing. So, they're not, we do a lot of different projects, but there are very few projects that get as intimate and personal as mobility. And it's very, very rewarding. And I'm very motivated to try to do this in my local community, but it has its challenges. But I just think it's very rewarding, very, very rewarding.
Yeah, I can definitely tell. And you have a passion for it. So we thank you for that. A couple more questions here for you. What about leaving, or this is a comment actually, what about leaving chairs at local churches, museums, schools, places which don't typically provide for visitors but could use them to assist visitors?
I think that's a fantastic idea. And actually when Shirley was talking to me, I thought of that. I think that's a great idea. There are a lot of venues where, people bring someone who lacks good mobility, but it could be I think that could be a nice thing to do. I think that's a fantastic idea. And with the brand, use the public image properly.
If you were in, and this is a last final comment here, if you were in the Philippines You must have been with the infamous PDG Frank Dean. And this person plans to be with Frank distributing wheelchairs in Peru in the fall of 2021. They visited the Beijing Rotary Club. Rotary in China is composed of only non-Chinese expatriates. They are always looking for projects that will help locals.
Wow. That's a great Frank Dean. Yeah, I know, of course I know Frank Dean, and what a character, the Colonel. And yeah, Frank is very passionate about wheelchairs. It's really that's his key area of service, has been for a long time. Frank had assisted us in fundraising for our project in Manila. He did not go to Manila. He was actually putting together a project. He might have been looking at Peru. I think at that time he was going to Peru, and then he also worked on another one for Ecuador. We got another project here for burgeoning. It's starting up to do in our district in Ecuador. We may have the opportunity to use some refurbished chairs there in Ecuador, because we want to actually put together a wheelchair repair facility in Quito. So this would be a place where some of the chairs we've provided over the years might need some updates, and so they could bring them in there and get them updated. Another project we're working on in our district that's wheelchair related. We're doing a global grant with the Rotary Club of Manila, and we're providing this thing called a wheelmobile. And this is a chair. This is a vehicle that they can navigate the terrible traffic of downtown Manila safely with the wheelchair person in the back of the van, and they're all secured and safe. And Frank's always involved in these types of projects in our district, and I admire his service. And I don't know if you can tell, but I really love the Philippines. I like that. That's a wonderful country. It's very densely populated, but beautiful people, wonderful people. Some of the most humble, kind, civil human beings you will ever meet in your life. And they're so thankful for the help that we bring them. You see people, they'll have nothing if it weren't for Rotary. It makes you very proud to be a Rotarian.
I think we're all proud to be Rotarians here on this call. And we thank you, District Governor David, for being with us this morning, or this afternoon, I should say. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for having me. I enjoy being with y'all.
So I asked earlier to put in the chat box if you have a Rotary baseball jersey or a Rotary mask or a Rotary hat or a Rotary shirt or this or that. Now, the baseball jersey that I'm referring to when I say Rotary baseball jersey is the one in David's background there. Now, if you remember a few weeks ago, Tiffany Irvin, the Rotary Geek, gave a presentation, and she is from that district as well. They're raising money for the CART Fund. So if you want one of those Rotary baseball jerseys, it's Tiffany Irvin, ERVIN.com. They're $20, and proceeds go to the CART Fund. Now, also, many of you around the district may have received an email this week. First, I had heard of this, and I thought I would at least announce it. There is a club, I believe, in Irmo that is doing a Rotary fundraising mask sale. So you'll get a Rotary themed mask that you can wear. I believe that is the Irmo Club, if I am not mistaken. Also, I know the district has some really cool aprons that they would sell as well. And then people in my club in Myrtle Beach all the time, because I try to wear Rotary, not just at Rotary, is they will sometimes ask me, where did I get that? I got a Rotary mask, for example, off of Russell Hampton. If you guys have never been to Russell Hampton's website, anything and everything you would want with the Rotary emblem logo on it is available to you. The Master Brand mask is actually one of my favorite masks. The Master Brand is the Master Brand Rotary logo on one side. It's a really cool mask. Plus, they've got numerous other things. So here's what I'm going to make a challenge and give you 1 week to prepare. On the all club call next Wednesday is Wear Rotary Day. If you got a baseball hat, a baseball jersey, a t-shirt, a polo shirt, wear Rotary next Wednesday. And we'll maybe have a contest. Sound like a good plan? So as we close today, we do these calls 3 times every week. Mondays at 11, Wednesdays at noon, Friday at 11. There's quite a few people on here, but there's quite a few people that are not. So how about invite a fellow Rotarian to the next CWRAP call? And then remind them a week from today is Wear Rotary Day. One last announcement is tomorrow at 5 o'clock is happy hour, our district happy hour virtually through Zoom. Would love to see you there. If you want information on how to join that, you can find it on the front page of DAC-DB. But we want you here for happy hour with fellow Rotarians tomorrow at 5 o'clock. There is a comment for you, Terry Moore, in the chat box about the YouTube link. So just make sure you check that out. And I will close this down today with the 4-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Have a wonderful Wednesday. Thank you again, DG David. We'll see you guys on Friday for the next conversation with Rotary Action people. Take care. Thank you.